Hello, this is a video introducing graduate students to the benefits and sort of a tour of the SUNY Open Access Repository, or otherwise known as SOAR. SOAR is a SUNY-wide repository platform that stores and displays faculty and student and staff scholarly works. So your graduate thesis or project can be stored here and displayed and shared with future employers, future graduate programs, colleagues, etc. A couple of benefits I wanted to mention right away, which I will point out during the tour, is that SOAR is indexed in Google Scholar. So whenever you do a Google Scholar search and you are directed to places where you might end up in a repository, our repository works the same way. People all over the world searching in Google Scholar can find works in our repository. Second point is that the link at the top of your item page in SOAR acts as a permanent link that you can share in your CV or graduate applications, etc. And finally, SOAR also offers usage statistics to let you know how many people have visited or downloaded your item in SOAR. So let's get started. I've taken you now to the SOAR website, which is located at soar.suny.edu. And as I mentioned, it's a SUNY-wide platform, so you can scroll down and find the Oneonta instance under campus communities, or you can look for us under university colleges. On the SUNY Oneonta page in SOAR, there's a couple things I want to point out. First of all, there's a special collection just for you guys, the SUNY Oneonta Master's Theses and Projects collection. And also there's a link to the Electronic Theses and Master's Projects guide located right on this page. This is where you're going to go when you're ready to submit your own thesis or master's project. And there's information there. And actually I have another tutorial about how to do that. But that's how this is one of the places you can access that guide. All right, moving into the Master's Theses and Projects collection, just wanted to show you what it looks like. So we have links to all of the graduate program pages, another link to the guide for you guys, and then it lists the most recent submissions. Each item in this sort of brief description page shows a thumbnail image of the item that's been, or the document that's been submitted, the title of the document, the graduate faculty mentor or advisor, and the student author or authors, and then the beginning of the abstract that's been submitted. So if we click on this as an example item, this is what your object might look like in SOAR. Again, you see it's all listed by first the title. And I guess the other thing I should mention right away is this is the permanent link that you can use as a link to share this information with others. So again, like I said, on the CV or applications, your thesis will be available. Even your parents might want to check it out here. You can see the downloadable items. So this happens to have two objects. It has a report and a poster. Many will only have one. You can also have your thesis and supplementary data sheets or something like that if you choose. Some programs are not going to require full text submission, and so in this case you would not have a downloadable option here. It would just be the description below. So I'm going to scroll down and show you that this is the sort of descriptive metadata. Again, this is the URI or the permanent link. It's the same as the one you see above. Authors are listed. You have the options of adding keywords to your submission, and we recommend that you have an abstract that gives a lot of good descriptive information for people to actually decide to download your documents or to find it correctly. Some programs have elected to choose to display a citation to help others cite their thesis or project. This is an electronic accessibility statement. We ask during the submission process that you do some upfront work to help us create documents that are accessible to everyone. The next video tutorial will touch on that, how you can make your work more accessible to others by the way you format it. I can do a little bit of remediation when it comes in afterwards, but really when you're creating the document, that's the best time to use accessible formatting. But this is where we document our sort of goal of making sure our digital content is accessible to everyone, regardless of their ability. And finally, there's also going to be a choice for you whether you want to include a Creative Commons license, which gives people who want to use your work a really specific idea of what they're allowed to do with it. We recommend for graduate students using the Creative Commons attribution, which requires them to attribute your work, non-commercial, which does not allow commercial uses of your work, and no derivative license, meaning that they can't make adaptations without your permission. This is the strongest and the most restrictive of the Creative Commons licenses, and it's very similar to a copyright license. In fact, it works with copyright. Finally, at the bottom here, there's an option to show statistical information. This is about the usage. Unfortunately, the system was just upgraded, and I don't think that it works right now, but soon enough you'll be able to see the number of visits and downloads at that location. We're getting sometimes 500 to 1,000 downloads a day from our whole repository, and our repository is not huge at this point. So there is a lot of use coming from Google Scholar. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you have learned the benefits of the SUNY Open Access Repository, and watch the other video for how to submit.